Hi, Dan, Jim, and Howard here from Humboldt Storage and Moving. So guys, one of the trends that we're seeing nowadays, a lot of people downsizing. Some folks downsizing because it's that time of their life where it's time to get rid of some possessions, move to a smaller residence. Others in these terrible economic times, unfortunately, are downsizing because of need, financial need. So with this problem that's out there, I mean, can you share some tips for how to deal with the downsizing within a move?
Yeah, I'm going to leave Jim to the economic side, and I'm going to talk about the aging population, because that's what we're seeing. A lot of people, 55 and older, 60 plus, the kids are out of their house and they don't need the 5-bedroom home with all the possessions, and they need to go to a lifestyle kind of community, a chance for them to get into a smaller home with less upkeep. So the biggest tip I guess I'd give is getting rid of the items. Most older people, less computer savvy, don't really know how to work the internet. So I think it's best that they hire a professional organizer that can come in and either do an estate sale or help them to downsize their belongings. The other thing that we can do is we can come in and help them organize and make sure we know what's going to what room and help them figure out what they should keep and what they shouldn't keep.
Yeah, and then there's the economic side to it, like you said, Howard, that some of these people have unfortunately been forced into this move. So talking about stress, financial stress is probably one of the worst stresses people will have in their lives. So having to do that and to get organized, like you said, and figure out what's going to make sense to keep and not to keep, and maybe part with some items that you don't really want to get rid of. Certainly if you're downsizing, storage is an option. But what's cost effective, through that process needs to be looked at. What are you storing? What's their value? When are you going to use them? The items. So those are all things to consider too.
I want to jump on the storage part because there's two different kinds of storage here. One, typically an older population that's downsizing doesn't need as many things, but they want to save certain items for their grandkids or their kids that may not be able to use them now, but they're family heirlooms. So we get a lot of storage where people say it could be here a year, it could be here 3 years, depending on when my kids are ready or they want to give to their grandkids. The economic scenario you're talking about is people that don't necessarily have a choice. They've got to get out of their house because maybe they've lost their job or they can't afford the mortgage. And so they don't want to get rid of everything, but they can't afford to keep it all. So the things that might go into storage would be stuff they definitely have to use for them, but they just have to find a new place to live and they can't get one soon enough. So we're there for both occasions,
Yeah, the great part of that is when it's family heirlooms, sometimes climate control storage can come into play, and that's a popular thing too.
Yeah.
So although downsizing is a problem, as long as you plan ahead, stay coordinated, hire a person to help you if needed and you have the financial ability, and always consider storage and think about it. Sounds like that's the best plan to help people relax and get moving.
Yep, and we're here for you.